Prince Harry is in the midst of a crisis, and this time it's not fueled by tabloids, talk shows, or family feuds whispered behind palace doors. No, this time the trouble is coming straight from the heart of British power, Westminster itself. It began quietly, the kind of silence that often precedes something monumental. Whispers moved through the political halls, not gossip columns, and at first, it sounded almost too unbelievable to grasp. Prince Harry versus the crown? Again? But here's the thing, this isn't just another PR scandal, another fight with the royal family that will fade in a few days. No, this time the stakes are higher. This time, there's something that's never even been considered before. The House of Lords is discussing stripping Prince Harry of his royal title. Let that sink in for a second. We're not talking about another slap on the wrist or another headline from Buckingham Palace. No, this is the Duke of Sussex, the last official tie Harry has to the monarchy, being pushed to the chopping block. And this isn't about feelings. This is about power, legacy, and whether it's fair for someone to burn every royal bridge, leave the country, publicly attack the very institution that made them famous, and still hold on to the royal title that gave them their influence. For years, the monarchy stood in silence. Through every interview, every accusation, every memoir release, every Netflix production, the crown did what it does best. Nothing. Silence. Tradition. But now, Parliament has had enough. They don't operate on emotions. They operate on rules. And what was once a family dispute has now become a constitutional crisis. A prince, who no longer resides in Britain, no longer serves the crown, and no longer follows royal protocols, yet still carries a title that grants him influence, access, and power. That title opens doors for Harry everywhere he goes, from Hollywood to politics to business. Without it, everything changes. Here's where it gets serious. Inside Parliament, lawmakers don't throw around phrases like symbolic treason lightly. They're trained to use language carefully, so when they speak of symbolic treason, it's not for drama. It's a calculated message. No, Harry hasn't committed a crime. But what Parliament is saying is far more dangerous than that. Symbolic treason means that while Harry may not have broken the law, he has broken trust. He has attacked the institution that gave him legitimacy, protection, and status, and did so while still benefiting from its name. And to Parliament, that's the ultimate betrayal. For years, Harry has publicly criticized the monarchy. He's called it cruel, he's claimed it's broken, he's accused it of being harmful. Yet, through all of that, Harry has continued to move through the world as the Duke of Sussex. This contradiction is what has made Parliament stand up and take action. In Britain, royal titles are not just decorations you wear when convenient. They represent duty, restraint, and loyalty. You don't tear down the institution and still expect to hold the keys to its power. That's the root of the problem. This debate isn't about emotions anymore. It's about damage. The damage Harry has done to the monarchy, the damage he's done to public trust, and the damage he's done to the very meaning of royal titles. Parliament sees that damage and believes that Harry crossed the line a long time ago. And now, we come to the part that Parliament finds unforgivable. The money. Harry didn't just step away from royal life, he turned it into a business model. Every major deal since his exit carries the same royal branding. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Not just Harry and Meghan, but royalty. From streaming deals to podcasts to public appearances, the royal connection is front and center, not hidden. And Parliament has a term for it, title laundering. The idea that royal status is being washed through commercial ventures to gain influence, profit, and power, while bypassing the responsibility that typically comes with those titles. Working royals are not allowed to profit from their titles. Royalty is meant to serve, not sell. But Harry and Meghan flipped that rule on its head. They left their royal duties behind, kept the branding, and started monetizing their titles. To Parliament, that's not independence, it's exploitation. Once royal titles become tools for marketing, the whole system is at risk. If one prince can profit from his title in this way, what's to stop others from doing the same? This isn't personal, it's structural. If money lit the fuse, then politics was the explosion. Every royal knows there's one rule that must never be broken: stay neutral. No political positions, no endorsements, no interference. The monarchy survives by standing above politics, not getting involved in it. Harry broke that rule loud and clear. From criticizing foundational royal principles to aligning himself with political causes overseas, Harry didn't just speak as a private citizen, he spoke as a royal. And that's where the problem lies. When a titled British duke enters foreign political discourse, it creates a constitutional headache. Parliament doesn't care about Harry's personal opinions, they care about the title attached to those opinions. That's when the phrase constitutional threat starts to make sense. Not because Harry could overthrow anything, but because precedent matters. Royal titles are meant to unify, not divide. They represent the state, not personal ideology. And once Parliament reached that conclusion, the direction was clear. This wasn't about punishing Harry, it was about protecting the crown from being weaponized as a political tool. Things were bad enough already, but then something small, almost petty, made everything worse. A gift basket. Polite, decorative, harmless, except for one line on the card. With the compliments of Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. That single line landed like a match in a pile of dry leaves. You see, Meghan was not supposed to be using HRH, Her Royal Highness. It wasn't just a suggestion, it was an agreement made directly with Queen Elizabeth. HRH is reserved exclusively for working royals who actively serve the crown. Harry and Meghan stepped back, which meant they lost their right to use that title. When that title appeared again, Parliament didn't see it as a misunderstanding. They saw it as defiance, a direct challenge to the rules already being questioned. Inside Buckingham Palace, frustration started to boil over. This wasn't about etiquette anymore. It was about control. Who gets to decide what royal titles mean? The institution or the individuals who walked away from it? That gift basket didn't just annoy people, it strengthened the case for stripping Harry of his title. Then came the moment that sealed Harry's fate. The public turned. Not the tabloids, not the commentators, the people. Polls started to show something shocking. A clear majority of Britain wanted Harry stripped of his title. Support for him didn't just dip, it collapsed. But the most damaging blow came from Sussex itself, the very place that gave Harry his title. Residents began signing petitions in droves, demanding the same thing: Harry doesn't represent us anymore. And that's when Parliament stopped hesitating. In Britain, titles are not personal brands, they represent responsibility. When the people who are meant to represent reject you, the title loses its power. At this point, Parliament wasn't leading the charge, it was following public opinion. And when the will of the public aligns with political authority, history is usually made. Throughout all of this, one thing stood out more than any statement could: silence. King Charles didn't rush to defend his son. No emotional pleas, no public interventions. That silence wasn't weakness, it was strategy. If the king stepped in, it would look like a father punishing his son. But if Parliament acted, the decision would carry the full weight of the institution. And then there was Prince William. No protests, no objections. For him, this wasn't about brotherhood. It was about preservation, protecting the crown, protecting the future of the monarchy. He made it clear that royal titles are not shields you can hide behind while attacking the system itself. As the future king, William's position was unambiguous. This behavior wouldn't be tolerated. This wasn't drama. It was a warning. If Harry loses his title, don't expect fireworks. It won't happen with shouting or speeches. It will happen quietly, behind closed doors. In ancient halls, through motions, votes, and signatures that carry centuries of authority. That's how institutions end fairy tales. Once legitimacy is gone, nothing else matters. Not fame, not money, not storytelling. The royal mystique, the very thing that made it all sparkle, will disappear overnight. No Duke, no HR, no illusion. Just Harry, a man who tried to burn down the house he came from and then sell the ashes. And yet, this still isn't the end. With Prince William preparing for the crown, Meghan's title now under serious question, and Parliament no longer being patient, the real fallout may still be ahead. When the crown decides you no longer represent it, you don't get the last word. The institution does, and it always speaks last.